What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including: is Cody losing at WrestleMania? Conspiracy in the Bloodline addressed? WWE's policy on blading revealed? Vince McMahon's name is banned on television? Roman Reigns actually retired in 2020. Reigns also tries to forget this moment ever happened, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at: is Cody losing at WrestleMania? On top of today's news, there's speculation that Cody Rhodes will lose at WrestleMania when he challenges Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship. This week's observers suggest that the WWE could take an unpopular route at WrestleMania, saying given that it's clear the company's biggest match possible right now is Rock vs Rhodes in a single, and that's not happening, the speculation is that Rock and Reigns win the tag match, and the best finish there is Rhodes losing. Meltzer mused on how things should play out at Night 1's tag match between Rhodes Rollins and Rock Reigns, depending on the WWE's long-term plans for Cody and The Rock. If Rock and Reigns are doing a singles match before a Rhodes vs Reigns rematch, then The Rock should get the pin. If Reigns is getting a match earlier, then he should get to pin to build up a rematch between the two after Rhodes beats Reigns the next day in a match that seemingly will have a ton of interference. The WWE has spent the last year putting Cody through one ordeal after another as he's fought tooth and claw back to a WrestleMania rematch with Roman Reigns. Consequently, many fans may feel Cody's win in Philadelphia is essential to protecting his status as the WWE's top babyface. Meltzer discussed this, feeling that Cody must win. One would think Rhodes almost has to beat Reigns at this point, although WWE business is such they can do whatever they want, and business will be exceptional no matter what the finishes are. It also leaves Rock with future bouts with Rhodes and Reigns that can be more than just two famous names, but have more storyline behind them. There are going to be many disappointed fans if Cody loses, and some fans will be happy with Rhodes losing. The big question is whether disappointed fans will stick around to see whether things played out, much as they did last year when fans complained about Cody's crushing defeat yet stayed tuned in. Meltzer also talked about how the WWE's change of plans, with its shift from Rock vs Roman to Cody vs Roman, turned out so well. It's almost funny how they changed the direction and ended up in a stronger booking position long term. As big as everyone for years had expected Rock and Reigns to be, it's pretty clear now that Rhodes vs Rock, either with or without the title at stake, is the biggest match they can do. Do you think WWE is serious about Cody losing at WrestleMania? If so, is it a good idea or a bad idea? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, conspiracy in the Bloodline? Does The Rock have a hidden agenda concerning Roman Reigns? Fans have pointed to hints such as The Rock making an L sign when the rest of the Bloodline are lifting their fingers upward during their signature "We the Ones" gesture, and other clues that the People's Champion is working as a double agent for Cody Rhodes or looking to take over the Bloodline. Paul Heyman recently spoke with Forbes and was asked about these conspiracy theories. Heyman's response suggests he's well aware of the potential of deception. I don't know, and it's something that's certainly my suggestion would be that's a great question to ask The Rock, and I'm sure he'd be happy to answer it. But it is a conspiracy, and just because it's a conspiracy theory doesn't mean that there's not a conspiracy behind it. So my father always taught me, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean the whole world is not against you. So I'm sure there's something to it. My suggestion would be ask the final boss, ask The Rock. Some fans believe Heyman is involved with The Rock and looking to ditch Roman Reigns. What do you guys make of Heyman's remarks? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE's policy on blading revealed. If you're wondering why the WWE went with a bloody finish to the 25th March Raw, well, they have been very conservative about using blood in matches, and blading on TV has been a rarity to say the least, which is why some fans were shocked to see Cody Rhodes sporting a crimson mask. Does this mean that fans should expect more blading on TV? Well, not according to Meltzer. With blood, the key is that this is no longer Vince McMahon's company. We're told that going forward, it will be used very rarely. There are no plans to turn it into AEW where it's used more liberally. But if Johnson wants it in his angle, he's like Lesnar in the Vince administration and has more power than Lesnar had then. And he's going to be able to do what he wants in his angles and matches. As we discussed in our analysis, both blood and profanity can send a strong message when used sparingly and in the right circumstances. Monday's segment where The Rock beat down Cody was an excellent example of how to do things right. If the WWE can show restraint, this policy should make for even more compelling television. Next up, Vince McMahon unloads more stock. Vince McMahon has sold more of his TKO holding stock, a situation which continues to puzzle industry observers. Figure 4 Online is reporting former WWE chairman Vince McMahon has continued to sell off his wealth of TKO shares, taking home nearly $100 million after selling 3.5 million shares to an unnamed bank over a 20-day stretch this month. No one seems to know why McMahon is selling the stock. The report states that Vince still owns nearly $1 billion worth of stock. Next up, Vince McMahon's name is banned on TV. Add Vince McMahon to the short list of former WWE superstars who can't be mentioned on WWE TV. McMahon has apparently joined Chris Benoit on the shortlist, and Monday's CM Punk Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins promo provided an example of how the WWE is treating any mention of Mr. McMahon. During the promo, Punk referred to McIntyre's past as the chosen one and seemingly tried to get Drew to name-drop Vince McMahon. As they noted on the Wrestling Observer Radio, one of the things is that Vince McMahon's name is not allowed to be mentioned on TV, but McIntyre changed focus and never mentioned the name and they got out of it. Are you surprised that Vince's name is banned on television? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Roman Reigns retired in 2020. There's some shocking news coming from Paul Heyman as the Bloodline's wise man recently told Uproxx Sports that Roman Reigns considered himself retired when the pandemic hit. He considered himself retired, he wasn't coming back. I was executive director of Monday Night Raw and Roman was assigned to SmackDown, but every week I heard all the SmackDown writers and producers and personnel saying, God, I wish Roman would come back. Reigns didn't compete at WrestleMania 36 and disappeared from WWE television for several months, finally returning at SummerSlam. However, for some time it appeared Reigns was done, with Heyman commenting, and I would ask, has anybody talked to him? Yeah, he says he's retired. He's not coming back. No way. Thanks a lot. Done. Finished. Goodbye. So the fact that he came back for this run, for what we've accomplished, is nothing short of a miracle, because as far as he was concerned, he was out. Reigns' initial absence from the WWE was understandable, as his compromised immune system presented risks for him by competing during the uncertain times of the pandemic. Furthermore, Roman repeatedly stated he didn't want to expose his family to COVID. Many fans consider Roman Reigns' 2020 heel turn to be the best thing that happened to his career. It rejuvenated his persona and led to his most successful time, and as we'll see next, was a welcome change from the troubles he faced as a babyface. As next up, Roman Reigns tries to forget this moment ever happened. Now, speaking of Roman Reigns and his troubled babyface run, the Tribal Chief recently discussed how he felt when the WWE Universe loudly booed him following his 2015 Royal Rumble win. Roman was a babyface then, but many fans were disgusted that Daniel Bryan didn't win the match. Roman discussed the situation with A&E, saying, I was booed historically. You think about these moments, you dream about them, and the moment that it actually happens, it's like they're playing the worst soundtrack of all time over your moment, ruining your party. That's how the Rumble in Philly felt. I tried to forget Philly. I tried to forget the Royal Rumble. There's only one positive, and that's the fact that it's going to be able to tie all the way back around at WrestleMania 40. While he worked hard during his babyface run, the WWE pushed Roman so hard that fans retaliated, especially when they felt that the big dog was stealing the spotlight from their favorites. Next up, more matches cut short by a promo. Did the Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk promo end up shortening matches on Raw? Dave Meltzer recently noted on The Observer that the DIY match as well as the Candice LeRae-Ivy Nile match was cut due to time constraints caused by the promo running over. They went a little long, but there was no negativity from it. One person had told me that Levesque knew that they were probably going to go long throwing those guys out there like that. So the matches that didn't have the ring entrances, they did the entrance during the commercial break. Before the show, they had already planned that that was going to be the case. As fans who have attended Raw or SmackDown in person know, it's not unusual for certain wrestlers' entrance to occur during the commercial breaks. Meltzer added, so it wasn't like they came up with that to save time. It was like they knew they were going to save time. And you know, they did rush through. The DIY match was shorter and the Ivy Nile match was barely a match. And finally, is the WWE cancelling the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? Last but not least, is the WWE cancelling its Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? The Battle Royal has been going strong for years, even after being moved from WrestleMania to airing on SmackDown before Mania. However, could the event return at the show shows now that the WWE is under new management? Well, The Observer reported at this point there is no Andre the Giant Battle Royal planned for Mania, but it could be on SmackDown like it has been in the past. While the Battle Royal has no storyline purpose, it's become a fun event that gives wrestlers who don't have a match at Mania a moment in the spotlight. Would you want it to return this year? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.